Matt here, and welcome to this brand new episode of my fragrance obsession. Tonight we're going to be talking about a fragrance that came out in 1993, the same year I was born, and it's a fragrance that comes from the house of Calvin Klein, and this is a fragrance called Escape for Men. Now this scent was designed by perfumer Steven DeMarcado. He is responsible for creating fragrances like Fancy Nights by Jessica Simpson, and he's also credited for creating Commuto Home, which is in fact a very, well, not very new, but it's classed as a new fragrance launched last year. Now this was in fact, I believe, his first fragrance that he ever made. One of the first few fragrances that he ever designed. And this one, to me, is actually a really good fragrance. I remember smelling this for the first time, and I really liked it. You know, I found it along the same lines as CK1, but I will get onto that when I talk about the smell. But let's talk about the bottle design. Now, as you can see, I've used up like just below half amount of the juice. I do enjoy wearing this, so I do wear it quite a lot. We get this. It's almost like a funnel shaped bottle. It's really cool. Cap is made of metal, but it's really thin metal. Escape for Men on the bottle there, and we also get Eau de Toilette, Calvin Klein. Bit of information here on the bottom. We get Eau de Toilette spray, 50ml, Coty Prestige, made in France. It's a really great fragrance, guys. I really enjoy this scent. So I'm going to spray a little bit here, and we'll talk about the smell. Now, in terms of the notes, guys, we do get notes of birch leaf, grapefruit, bergamot, juniper, and eucalyptus. So, as you can see, it is kind of like a fresh, clean opening, especially from that grapefruit and the eucalyptus. Those notes really give this fragrance a very clean, sort of juicy quality. But overall, I do think that the opening is sort of powdery as well, and I guess that comes from the juniper. It just gives it this sort of like green sort of side. And once over, I never would have called this a green fragrance. I think, because I have seen a lot of reviews for this fragrance online, on YouTube, and also on Base Notes, and a lot of people have said that it smells green, and I just have to agree, and I never would have noticed it before if I hadn't seen them. So, big thank you to those people who said that. But it's got an earthy sort of smell. It's very rich. It does remind me of CK1 by Calvin Klein, and I know I said that at the beginning of the video, but it really does. Like, it gives me that clean sort of summery sort of vibe, that typical 90s aquatic, that sort of powdery sort of vibe. But it smells really, really good. Now let's get on to the rest of the notes. We get clary sage, cypress, fir balsam, and rosemary. So it starts to get a little bit more floral now with that rosemary. It's still got that green sort of vibe, and I don't think the fragrance ever really loses that green vibe. I mean, in the top it is that citrus, so you've got that grapefruit in there, and that eucalyptus, really, really nice. But I really like the middle. It really balances it out to this really nice powdery sort of, what's the word, talcum powder sort of vibe. And I guess it's just because it's such a powdery scent that it's given me that sort of vibe. It's really, really good. Definitely it's certainly a very similar scent to CK1. I think CK1, it's like CK1 with that eucalyptus. I think that's the only way I can really describe it, but really, really nice. Now what's in the base? Patchouli, vetiver, sandalwood, and oak moss. So in the base, the fragrance starts to get a little bit strong. We start to get that oak moss in there and that sandalwood, but it's also that vetiver in there and that patchouli. Now, patchouli is a really dominant note to begin with. It's really strong, and it's a really bold sort of smell. In this fragrance, the patchouli isn't bold. It's really subtle, and I guess it's because it's in the dry down. Usually patchouli works more as a kind of middle note or a top note, but in the base, for this fragrance, it's really subtle, and it's also clean as well. But I guess that's what the vetiver creates that. So the vetiver again is boosting up that green quality that this fragrance really has, but the sandalwood is balancing it up to this nice wood base, and with that wood base it just makes it. And I think that honestly this whole fragrance, when you balance it out, it's perfect. So in the top It's very juicy, it's very fresh, it's very citrusy. And then in the middle, we've got all those florals, giving it that powdery floral take, very clean. And then the base, it's giving it that sort of woody oak moss sort of smell. And it's just a really, really good fragrance. And the one thing that makes this fragrance very unique to this day is the fact that it's not really popular. In fact, this is one of the most unpopular men's releases from the whole company. I mean, if you look at the likes of Obsession, Encounter, and even including CK1, they're all really popular scents. This one, however, is very much a loner. And I think anybody who smells it will be very pleased. I mean, the first time I smelled it, I really liked it. I was just like, wow, how come I've never smelled this before, you know? But I'm really, really happy with this. It could work. It could really work in the summertime. I think it's more of a spring-based fragrance, but that's just my opinion. But I think smelling it, it is a very bright fragrance. It's very citrusy in the top, so it could work quite well for the summer. Yeah, spring and summertime is probably the best times for this. I'm not going to go through age range or anything. You guys know that I think that's a load of bullshit, really. I mean, if you like a fragrance, wear it. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you're 10 years old. It doesn't matter if you're 50 years old. If you feel like you can pull this off, you wear it. And it's the same with any scent. I mean, any scent that I've got, I would never judge anyone for wanting to wear a fragrance that they think is a little bit mature, or what maybe other people think it's a bit more mature. It's completely up to you and it's your choice. So guys, thank you so much for watching my fragrance obsession. My name is Matt. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please let me know what you think of Calvin Klein's Escape for Men, and I will certainly get back to you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot. And I just want to say a big thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed to my channel and showed that support. It really does mean a lot, because I'm coming up close to 400 subscribers now. Just let me breathe. Hang on. I really does mean a lot. So guys, thank you so much for that. It really does. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for all the support. So guys, have a great night. Keep smelling good, and bye bye for now.